ludicrous speed. Go!
That one was on my mind too.
Uh,
Not for today, so I'll just do my other stupid one. But anyway, it's part 43 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, because I accidentally repeated characters too many times, one character is probably going to just end up in a bonus video, but the other unlockable character, which, kind of works out for that bonus video idea anyway, is when you do 200cc stuff, you get Golden Mario. So, me and Carson, because of a bonus video idea we had as kind of a final stupid part, might as well show off Gold Mario and the one leftover character, so that's not the worst thing. If Carson wants to stick with a random tiny character. But, anyhow, part 43 of this series. I'm gonna be Mrs. Williams here. How are we doing, Williams?
It's another tiny character, so... yeah. Again, I watched a playthrough of a visual novel that was almost the same amount of time, at least in terms of part numbers. Not in terms of part length.
That's not too bad, but... Let's go back to it. That's working out really well. Anyway. Yeesh. Last time.
Shit happened.
Oh, some shit happened. Now for the holy fucking crap courses. So, this is going to be 200cc Special Cup. Quick explanation of some things. In my in-slates are a question of the day. So I would love to hear from people. I ask questions because I like hearing other, thoughts, opinions, and answers and things. So I would love to have some answers. If you want to interact with some people, I would love to see my main Discord get some activity. Link is always in the description. If it's not working for some reason, tell me and I'll update it or just drop a fresh link in the comments. The links in my description should be unlimited. So that should work. Should. One kooky thing about Discord, just as a quick funny talking point, bans are based off local IP addresses. So if you're trying to join my Discord, but you're using the same router as someone I've banned for some reason, as in you were their sibling, you can't get in.
Okay, that's kind of bullshit.
Oh, totally! I know a guy, his brother, was having some issues. For similar reasons. It's convoluted and stupid.
Yeah.
But
yeah, just do the thing now.
After explaining that, one other quick thing. If I have to restart, if I'm earning cart parts, there'll be a montage for that. If there are any, because you keep your coins when I'm backing out. If I'm restarting, then there'll be a montage of ways I lost that I thought were bullshit or kind of funny. And that montage will be in the in-slate as well, technically it's before the in-slate. So, when I say, see you guys next time, it goes into those montages if I need them. Because I have to restart a lot sometimes. 200 is a bitch and a half. Gonna be quiet while the game's loading, so you guys will not be hearing me for a minute. I am almost at 4 hours, and no, that is not an exaggeration. I have literally been doing this for almost 4 hours now. All because 200 is 150 AI with controls that are utter garbage. and I had to resort to actually make it playable, to using the auto steer so I don't fall off, because 200 just doesn't control good. And I deserve a victory lap, and I don't care. That's bullshit. I don't care what anyone says. I deserve a victory lap, and 200 is bullshit enough where I don't feel that this is too unfair, but because gaming elitism, if you have any crutch because you can't be super uber mega god at every kind of game thing ever, that you are just a baby. God forbid you find something hard or need something to be easier or less bullshit.
That's something I find hilarious is, and like I've never seen anyone bring this up. Everyone bitched and complained about the super guide, even though the making you invincible is perfectly fair, because you still have to beat the stage, and if the stage has a high amount of hits, the invincibility doesn't really matter. But anyway, besides that, what I find it hilarious, everyone complained about the super guide in 3D land, but no one ever realized that the super guide, that wasn't like it. If you died enough with the super guide, you would just get a block that could warp you to the end of the stage. And I have never seen anyone ever bring that up. Hell, I don't even remember how I learned about it, because I've never seen anyone talk about it. I know I never got it.
We're going to lose again. Because you just can't catch up. Oh, actually. Nice killer. Yes!
It hit her, yeah.
Blown out of the sky like a bitch.
Yeah.
We gonna light this place up. I feel far too many games now, the older fan base are just demanding assholes and want the game.
Classic elitists are the worst. Just look at the Sonic fan base.
And they want the games to be how they want, and any kind of leeway, which goes to that argument I've had with Sean on and off, and he misses my point here, and this was on Discord a few days ago, where Sean asked people, like, the easiest game they played, and a couple of people said, like, Pokemon X and Y, and he was all, well, don't tell Carter you think that way. He doesn't like people saying the game is easy. It's not that I hate people saying the game is easy. It's that I hate... First of all, in a lot of cases, yes, it is easy. And I've admitted to that before. What I hate is that people bitch and complain because I think that Pokemon really, I prefer being less strict and stupid because that lets, again, more people play it. And two, I thought X and Y was perfectly fine, and most people who say it's too easy, you've played Pokemon for like 20 years now, so...
And most of what made the older games harder was actually bullshit AI and other things that make it arbitrarily harder, stacked on top of Generation 1 being so damn broken, half the mechanics don't even work. So, a bunch of the super old generations, yes, they were harder, but they weren't really intended to be harder.
Of course. Of course. I just can't win. And you've taken the super good top path, so I've lost.
Oh, they hit the drywall.
I still feel like I've lost.
Oh, look how close it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's a poker.
I feel
that's a poker right there.
Mm-hmm. I feel I deserve a win. And people treat this auto thing, the way people were talking, and people who got early access, because I don't get review copies, and some early review copies were acting like the game totally plays itself, and you have, like, no skill. And I was like, oh my god, that sounds insane. I'm like, I want to see that. No, it doesn't.
It only does that on 50. On 100, from like people who actually, you know, have integrity and don't run their channels on clickbait. Essentially, people later said you can only consistently win on 50. 100 is about a 50-50 split of winning and not winning. Once you get to 150 and higher, as if you just don't touch the game and have both the auto steering and auto accelerating on, because you are not touching the controller, you can't win. You normally get last or 11.
Mm-hmm.
There is basically no way to win without touching the controller. It's only on 50 where you can consistently do that.
If you want to win on the higher difficulties with
You
this,
still have to play the game.
as I've shown, you know what? In a way, I'm kind of glad about using it, because let's use this and make an example of shut your elitist mouth, because I am not guaranteed this victory you seem to think is guaranteed if I can't fall off the course, or you're acting like I suddenly am letting some bot play, and...
Though I will admit a thing I haven't seen, though I will admit a thing I am curious.
We're almost done, Carson.
Don't say anything! I will admit a thing I am curious to see, just because I want to know how this turns out. What happens if, like, everyone in an online race used the auto steering?
I thought you can't use it online.
No, you can choose to have it be an option. No, some people, again, people that had integrity actually did do some races with it online to see...
Damn it. Oh, damn it.
To see how it turned out.
Moment of truth, baby. That'll do, just fine.
Now we just need to get into first.
I can't fall off. I can drift these at full speed, basically.
But that is a full speed, which is essentially nerfed by... You gotta have that balance in some capacity. Also, when you get basically close to the area of you going...
I can do this. What?
Nothing.
We're good.
Don't jinx it.
No, it compensates just enough. That's all I need. That is all I need, Carson. Through the fire and the flames, we will carry on.
Isn't that like a 12-minute song?
It's long.
But then again, I have learned a bunch of songs from like the 70s were actually oddly long for some reason.
Of course. Of course. A horse is a horse, of course.
I had a point I wanted to make, but then I completely lost what it was.
I'm just enjoying my, Oh, damn it, no. I'm actually far ahead, and I know I'm not gonna fall. Let's see if I can... Look at the distance I gained because I can play well. I've won! Finally!
Fucking finally!
God mode!
And again, to anyone who says that it's cheating, run the one clip from Gravity Falls.
What clip?
The thing for a stand.
Oh! Can I have my hands back?
Can I have my hands back? There's a certain finger I want to show you.
That might be on the loading screen. Rest of 200 might be that.
for the sake of integrity, actually, like, you know, try, and it's basically when we just fucking need to do it.
This is true.
Oh, holy shit, I don't care anymore.
Think Celestia, it's over.
Just end this before something stupid happens. I am afraid of a game crash. The game has saved, alright?
The Crash series is not that bad, Garth.
I said a game crash, I didn't say the game crash, but Crash 1 is bad. It is that bad.
Holy shit.
Skip the credits. I do not want to crash after all this.
Not yet. Give me just a second. My glasses are smudged. It's the only way to play.
It's the only way to play with some amount of sanity.
I'm gonna let a bit of the credits roll for just a second, because I want to kind of finish that one thought. Gaming elitism now, and I've had this argument on and off with fighting games and Pokemon. Too many people now see any kind of leeway as you just being a baby or get good, and too many people want a game to be like frustrating to the point where it's not fun or unnecessarily complex because they are the club, and anyone who is not in this club doesn't deserve this special treat.
Oh look, the DK dab. Dab cake. And in the way, what I was going to say was that's why if Sean and Brian would get here, there is a game I want to play because of how I love how that game handles difficulty. I'm not going to say what it is, so that will be a surprise, but you should know is what I've talked about on and off through various playthroughs, what it should be. But I want to play that because I feel the way that game handles its difficulty is amazing, because what it does when you die, you basically respawn right where you die with the enemies having the amount of health they had when they killed you. It doesn't arbitrarily set you back any amount in the stage, so because it starts you right back there, I was able to learn, and I think I am actually pretty decent at that game because I didn't have to arbitrarily go through all of the shit I had already beaten.
The biggest argument, and I brought this up for the fighting game point, that always comes up is like, but why should someone who put the time and energy, why shouldn't they be rewarded? I'm not saying don't reward people. The reward, though, should be truly mastering your ability.
The reward shouldn't be learning how to just play the damn game.
Mm-hmm.
The reward should not be the basic level.
And games that are made easier and more open consistently get more love.
That is always the best in that franchise. Well, not the best well received. It's always the most well received or the best selling.
Let me bring up Rayman Legends and Origins again. And so at this point we'll just let the credits go so I can make it cut. You know what? The recording's gonna be fine and then we can end this shit show.
It better be fine.
It's going fine.
Just make your damn
I'm getting
to
Rayman Legends, Rayman Origins. Platformer, you're one hit. Sounds really stupid. But you have really good checkpoints and no lives and no punishment of death. If you play the game, you can die and the game doesn't punish you and take away stuff upon the death. The game is challenging, but you can learn the sections. The game doesn't expect you to be an uber guide and just punish you unnecessarily for failures.
And the other thing, in at least the case of that game has something that's notoriously difficult. they're called the Dark Rayman levels. Basically, after you beat the game, if anyone's played Mario Galaxy, you remember the Cosmic Clone missions? Yeah, it's basically that. Essentially, a clone of Rayman is following the path that you take, and you have to outrun him to the end. But what makes these stages, at least to some degree, bearable, every stage like this is 40 seconds?
Roughly?
It's roughly about 40 seconds, so it's very, very short.
You're on a timer.
Yes. You're on a timer and you have to beat the stage.
Let me put it this way. There was a time they thought you could do, and I did it. So...
And again, the other thing is it was 40 seconds. That means it is relatively short enough to where when you die, it doesn't take too much effort to get right back to where you were. Again, as I said, the biggest problem with something like this is if you could restart just Rainbow Road, we would not have been here as long.
I'm gonna finish that point in the video.
You see, braking is crucial. The game does say it.
Mario Kart, if it let you restart an entire cup or the tracks, I know people would complain, but if I could have restarted the tracks, all I would have had to have done is just restart the track I was on, and I could have made it to Rainbow Road, and I could have kept restarting it, and I would have had an easier time, because to me, I feel having to do the entire cup is just irritating if you're going for the best ranks, which is why I prefer the ranking system being like how it is, where I used, like, you can see down there all the triple stars, because all you have to do is get the firsts, and the game is even nice where if you use, like, the auto excel in the steering, it still lets you keep the ranks, and you're not seen as lesser.
Well, the auto excel, you're just holding down a button. You can't really change.
You know what I mean.
Yes.
No, my point was some games. Okay, quick mini rant before we end this. I hate games that offer easy options, where the easy options are designed to be lackluster and terrible to basically take a steaming shit on the people that want those options. Where you get like a couple of levels and it's like, play on normal or higher to continue. Or you've made easy really stupid because you are so elitist that you feel instead of giving people an easy option or letting them enjoy your entire game, you waste programming to make the easy mode terrible so that you can laugh at people who want it and treat them as lesser, which irks me. And I feel a game's difficulty, if you're going to make difficulty selects, you should have all the difficulties. I feel I don't even like games that have unlockables tied to higher difficulties. I said it! I feel you should be able to unlock everything without...
Well, again, because of how fucking late it is, we do need to make this short, and again, I will keep this ambiguous. That one game I had brought up, because that you just start back where you died, applies to all of the difficulties, because that goes across every single difficulty in the game, be it the easiest or the hardest.
You can play the harder modes.
I was able to unlock nearly everything.
That's a fair point. Or do more of that. Because then the mastering the game becomes more about like getting good ranks and being an uber god, not just performing at the
not just beating the damn game is considered some form of an accomplishment.
And I know a lot of people go, what's the point in a higher difficulty if it still continues to be fair and balanced? That's not hard. The game is just harder, but the challenge comes at that point more in the satisfaction of mastering it so you're not constantly dying, because the game gives you ranks, but the ranks are meaningless for technically most completion things, and that to me is completely fine, because the game is not just kicking you in the teeth because you dare to play on the harder difficulties, which punish you for your death and stuff, which has always, I'm finishing this point, been funny to me, because the people who play those fucking difficulties are the ones who never fuck up or die, so then they complain that those harder difficulties didn't, let them stroke their dick there. But if the game is just made harder and more punishing, anyone who's not on your level is the one who gets the brunt of the force, which really pisses me off, because then anyone who's not basically you has an unfair challenge while you're just going, oh, that wasn't that hard. And you basically feel nothing, and the game is never amped up to a point where you feel it's challenging enough for you, but anyone who isn't you feels it's way too hard for no reason. And that irritates me. And I feel people should be allowed to play a game on an easier difficulty. And if someone plays your game on an easier mode, the world isn't going to blow up. It's not like it's like, this is how kind of my final point, this is how I've always felt the internet. It's like you're looking at a list of worst crimes in the world. It's like rape, but then over rape, it's like
easy mode.
Exactly.
Easy mode in Dark Souls.
Exactly! And everyone's like, oh my god, no!
So, last point, I made this in one of the earlier failed attempts because it was a failed attempt. I couldn't finish it. This is just something I find funny, which I find it funny because everyone was complaining about this being too far when 3D Land came out, and, basically any Nintendo game that essentially has a super guide, everyone complains that it makes the game too easy, even though I feel the giving you a permanent invincibility for the stage is a perfect way to make it easier for people, because they still have to play the game. The game will not sit there and play itself, so if you're in a stage with a lot of pits, that super guide doesn't really help. Now, it does it, but anyway, my point was something I find funny. No one ever has acknowledged or brought up that there was actually in 3D Land something beyond the super guide. If you died enough times with the super guide, you would just get a block that teleports you to the end of the stage. And I don't even remember how I learned that.
People hate super guide type things, but if it's a convenient feature, because it's a funny point, brain scratch, and Johnny personally, and I'm just bringing this up as a good quick rambling point, in Crash 1 they actually, apparently the original did this as well. If you died enough, the game gave you a pity Aku Aku mask so you could take an extra hit. Brain scratch! And Johnny personally, a couple of levels, he would purposely die.
Well, because in the original Crash 1, before the Insane Trilogy, you had, for the box gym,
to play perfectly.
Yeah.
So, but he purposely played terribly.
He would basically complete a stage, die in it, to basically bring the Pity Aku into another stage.
No, there's a stage he would die a bunch in to get the Pity Aku to start. Because he knew he could get invincibility going in the stage to remove all the challenge.
Yeah.
Because, God forbid, and I'm not... Now, I'm not saying the stage is fair or well-designed.
Because a funny
we
thing...
really do need to be...
Yes, but there's a funny thing was Crash 1. The Insane Trilogy does this. I don't know if the original did this. To get the box gem, you have to beat the stage without dying. The Insane Trilogy made it to where that's now just the color gem. It still irks me that something like that's in the game, but at least it's only on 4 levels. But anyway, a funny thing, and this is how Johnny was able to do the Aku thing, if you die before the first checkpoint, it actually does not count against like getting the box gem. As soon as you pass the first checkpoint, even if you don't hit it, as soon as you get past that point in the level, the flag basically triggers for the box gem. So yeah.
The Insane Trilogy, though, you can die as much as you want.
Yes, thankfully.
Outside of the colors,
and again, that's a thing I find hilarious. That was like one of the few things everyone unanimously agreed this is terrible. Why did they design it like this? So that was like the only instance of making something easier, and the internet wasn't just ruined forever.
We need to be ending this shit show.
It's like 5 in the morning. Don't LP at night, folks.
It's not LPing at night isn't the problem. It's don't LP something this poorly. So we're gonna have to do an extra recording another day to just even out. The like double back half of the final set of cups, but anyway, I've got over 4.5 hours to dig through. That's going to be... Though, really, most of that is just look for a fell.
Hey, somewhere in that shit mountain is a gold nugget.
Anywho, this has been part 43 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
What?
I was getting mental pictures of what you said.
Okay, we should stop.
No! Well, I need to do my proper outro. Coming up in a minute, couple of cart parts. After that, more fails than you can shake the failure stick.
Does the Benny Hill theme get any form of copyright nonsense?
Why?
Why do you... Oh, you're going to show a montage of fails and I'm asking about the Benny Hill theme. What do you think?
I might do a hypercut.
I'm saying put the Benny Hill theme
over the... So, anyway, as I started the video with, have a Discord you can join, link in the description. I have a question I ask in my in-slate, you can do that. We need to be going, so coming up is all that other shit. My editing is going to be pushed to the limit. Carson's walking away. I hope you guys enjoyed this shit show. See you guys next time. While I get a great break.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my favorites, actually. If I got back in, it's because I won the cup, didn't get the full first place. I'm showing the card parts I earned. So I keep earning card parts too. Shut up, Carson. I know. He did another part.
It's what, like 4 we've earned during this?
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me, I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Okay, guys. So my question of the day is, what do you guys think of the auto accelerator and the auto steering? Personally, I'm not really bothered by them, and I think they're quite helpful for a lot of people. On top of that, they are not nearly as overpowered as most people on the internet would like you to believe. I mean, you saw my video. I still had to try even when using them. But anyway, I would really love to know what you guys think. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments below, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you liked my video, please hit the like button and leave some comments. If you're new to my channel and want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscription button and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please ring the bell next to the subscription button. That gives you the proper notifications of whenever I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. Doing all of these things really helps out the channel, and it really helps our communities grow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.